Hey guys, today I want to go over some more reasons why I think this $15 or $16,000 bull flag target, as well as this $27,000, $28,000 triangle breakout, why I think those numbers are not necessarily probable, but definitely possible, and you should keep them on your radar. I'm going to go into my fib extension tool here, and I'm just going to say that after our COVID dump here, and we'll drag it up to uh, that horizontal resistance that I've had mapped out for quite a while. I took it off here just for the sake of keeping this chart a little cleaner. But look at that, guys. So we had our dump. This is our COVID dump here. And if we do our 100% retrace right up to horizontal resistance here, we did get a close above it. So what's on my radar right now, first of all, would be the 1.382 Fibonacci line, which would be just, well, somewhere between 12,000 and 13,000, about 12.8 thousand, if this is correct. And then also, you guys know I love the 618, so also the 1.618 would be a nice extension target, which would be just over 14,000. And now I want to go into why this is intriguing to me. Actually, not only that, but if we go up even higher, I mean, this number would eclipse this one, depending if we get a close above this wick up here. But also you can see that this other target here, the 1.786, lines up almost bang on with my bull flag target, which I showed you guys. I took the measured move of this weekly bull flag, took it from the candle which broke us out of our triangle, and that measured move is bang on that fib line. And to me, that's just another confirmation why I believe that that's a very reasonable target. Now going into why this is important here, guys. If we do get this target up here, or even our 1.618, and get our close above this wick here, setting a new, another macro higher high, let's do another Fibonacci here. Let's take it from here. So we have, we'll go for our bottom there, which was after the infamous descending triangle, up to our 14 local top there. Now what's interesting, guys, is the 618 Fibonacci line here is in new all-time higher high range here. So with this, we're over 20,000, and with a new all-time high, trends can get very emotional and very irrational, and prices can absolutely skyrocket. Not saying it has to happen, but obviously it could. So let's say we do hit that 1.618 target, or let's say, again, let's go with the 1.786, just because that's what I'm predicting to happen here with this bull flag. So let's say we hit 22,000 there, guys. Now what I'm going to do is let's go even bigger. Let's take another fib extension. Let's go from kind of down here. I should be putting this on the logarithmic chart, but I'm just going to do this quickly just for shits and giggles. Going to go down at these prices right before our last or after our last halving, sorry, to our all-time high, or just under 20,000 there. Now look at this, guys. Our 1.382 fib line matches up perfectly with this triangle move that I've been pointing out to you guys. Take the measured move of the triangle, where we broke out from, same spot as that bull flag, boom, there's our other target, just under 27,000. And look at that, that lines up perfectly with that Fibonacci line. And of course, with these markets getting super irrational and super emotional, if we do have this happen, it would not be unlikely to hit the 1.618 or even higher at the 1.786. So you're looking at $35,000. And guys, the thing about this is just one measured move of the triangle to 27,000. Triangles are my favorite patterns, and quite often you get that measured move, but quite often you get several of those measured moves. And if that's going to happen with the FOMO of all-time highs and stuff like that, I don't think it would be unreasonable to start expecting things like $50,000 or even higher. Of course, that is a long ways away from now, and I don't even want to make those predictions because I don't want to sound like those Moon Boy channels uh, that really start to just try and inflate your ego thinking you're the smartest person in the world for investing in this, that sort of stuff. I play it swing by swing, trade by trade. This market goes up, it goes down, irrational both directions. Luckily, as traders, we can make money both directions. But I'm just looking at it from a technical perspective, and those ridiculous numbers maybe aren't so ridiculous. With setting a new macro higher high for the first time in over 2.5 years, this triangle pattern here has been playing. It's the starting that I have for it was back in July 2017. So this pattern here is basically a 3-year long pattern that took to break. That's longer than I've been trading in this space, and that's why I'm so excited about this, because I do love playing triangles and wedges as my favorite patterns. Anyone who keeps up to date with my channel here knows that usually I'm playing a downward sloping trend line if I'm longing, and vice versa if I'm going short. So yeah, these are just some interesting price targets, and I just wanted to show you a few more reasons why I don't think they're that unrealistic. I just want to go over to Ethereum here just to point something out that I've noticed. This is a much shorter time frame. This is obviously just the 15-minute chart, but I did notice a downward sloping trend line that had 3 touch points. We have our 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and then our break, and we are testing it as a support flip so far. I haven't decided if I'm going to play Ethereum again yet or not. You guys know from my last video I took a 300% as one of my take profits. Not a clean 300% profit, I want to make that clear. But it was a beautiful trade, and I'm considering playing it again, but for now I'm just mostly focusing on Bitcoin. I did take a trade on it earlier today, or was that last night? I can't remember already. But I had one of these downward sloping trend lines. You can call it a wedge or whatever you want to call it. I just look at it as a basic trend line. You can see that we kind of have our local resistance in these areas here, and right here we turned it from a resistance to a bit of a support flip as well. Let me see if I can pull this up if I still have it marked out. Yes, and I had this RSI line mapped out also, and you can see where we got our breakout and our retest of that resist support flip. We had the same on the RSI, just kind of confirming what I was seeing. So I did enter along, and it was actually, I believe it was a 30x, and I did end up adding into my position with some of these horizontal resistances. So I can't even tell you right now. I don't have my account loaded up, but I can't remember what my average entry is, but either way, I took 3/4 of my profit when we had this red candle, and we broke this yellow temporary support line I had mapped out. We did get a bounce here, and I was expecting it to actually skyrocket and go past the 12,000 mark, so I was pretty excited, but I was prepared with an exit strategy. I had my stop loss updated that if I broke this yellow trend line, I wanted to be stopped out of 3/4 of my position. So I locked in a lot of profits there. I believe it was something around the 65-70% range, somewhere in there. But I still do have a quarter remaining. And what I'm looking for with that is I will be stopped out if I get below these 2 wicks here. Sorry, I'll make it a more proper line. Somewhere in there, just under 11.5. And my reasoning for that is, you see this green line here, guys? You know that I've been pointing out for a while now this green channel that I've been referring to as the Tesla channel. Let me just load up Tesla, and just in case anybody hasn't seen this yet. Let me go to the daily chart and back down to where we broke out from. I know I've been pointing this out on a lot of videos, guys, but this just kind of reminded me of the Bitcoin chart, so I wanted to point it out and what we could look for. You can see with Tesla, we did get above it a little cleaner and then had a double bottom along a resistance to support flip, which it absolutely exploded through. Now it looks like you might even get a bit of a bull flag. I'm not in any positions with Tesla. I am using this merely as a comparison to the Bitcoin chart and using it as a bit of an indicator. So now that we can see this on my daily chart here, if I zoom into the 15-minute again, oh, sorry guys. Let me just make these a little smaller, make it a little more appealing here. Okay, so anyways, as long as we're above that green trend line, just in case this is going to act the way Tesla did, I want to be in a position, so I want to keep a little bit of my, just the quarter of my position open for now. And if we start getting closes above this structure up here, I would even consider adding to my position. Also, if I see some interesting support happening along this green line, or some sort of even a downtrend line like that forming and getting my 3 touch points and a break above, I would definitely consider adding to my position. But for now, I just have a trailing stop loss. I'll get stopped out in a profit if it backfires on me here. And then I look for the next trade, most likely a falling wedge or a triangle, possibly an ascending triangle, something like that, because you guys know wedges and triangles are my favorite patterns to play, basically all I play. One thing, if I go back to the daily chart here, from a bearish perspective, something I want to point out would be, let me just clean this up a little bit. We're shaping up to almost get a bit of a double top here. Something like that. And what we also have is we have this bearish divergence on the RSI to go with that. So if that is to happen, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of a falling wedge pattern form. Even just, I would be willing to make a trend line, something like that, depending how this does play out, like if we do get rejected here. I wouldn't be all that surprised if we either A, test this purple horizontal trend line, which is our macro resistance that I was looking for a support flip on, which we have got 2 touch points on already as a support flip, so that's always nice to see. But I really wouldn't be all that, well, for one, I wouldn't be that worried because I'd still consider it bullish, but I wouldn't be all that surprised if we drop down to this white trend line down here, which would be closer to the $9,000 mark. And again, even if it drops down that far, I am just seeing that as a resistance to support flip. If I go to the weekly chart here, of that giant triangle pattern, which is not out of the ordinary. I play trades like that all the time, where you get your break of a triangle, you end up retesting down below and getting that support flip before you move up higher. That would absolutely be super healthy for this trend, in my opinion. For now, I am more looking towards playing long positions rather than short, because I do think the trend is up, and I do think this is a very strong bullish trend we're setting up for all the reasons mentioned in this video and all my other videos basically in the last couple months. So yeah, anyways guys, I think I've kind of rambled on long enough here. I just really wanted to point out a few things and touch base with you guys. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you hadn't. Leave a comment, let me know if you are bullish or bearish and why. I'm always willing to read the comments and kind of see what another set of eyes is looking at. There's a lot of opinions out there, and I would like to hear them. I'm always willing to look at the market from several different directions, and that's what makes us traders, right? We're not emotionally attached to anything, we play it as it comes. So with that, guys, I do think that I have some valuable information here and some good indicators and some good trend lines that seem to play out pretty accurately. So if you have any friends that you think this channel could help out, if they're into technical analysis or Bitcoin or anything, feel free to share this channel. That would be absolutely awesome, and I would thank you greatly. With that, guys, I think I'm going to leave you guys alone, and yeah. Obviously, none of this has been financial advice. Always form your own opinions. I'm just letting you know my personal opinion and the way I'm looking at the market and how I'm intending to play it. So none of this is advice, trading advice, financial advice, any of that. And with that, guys, stay safe out there. I'm out. Peace.